What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So reports are surfacing that legendary British former world champion superstar Chris Eubanks Sr., the father of former world champion middleweight title contender Chris Eubanks Jr. Chris Eubanks Jr. is 32 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 23 wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'11" with a 72.5-inch arm reach, is scheduled to go into a grudge match with Chris Eubanks Sr.'s biggest rival in Nigel Benn, British superstar, former world champion. Nigel Benn's son, Conor Benn. Conor Benn is 21 wins, no losses, no draw, 14 wins by way of knockout, 25 years of age, 5'8" with a 71-inch arm reach. That's scheduled to take place October 8th, okay, in the UK. Huge rivalry. Obviously, one of the biggest rivalries was Nigel Benn versus Chris Eubanks Sr., okay? And this is supposed to be at a catchweight, according to all agreements, right? The fight is supposed to be at a catchweight because what happened is this, right? Is that Chris Eubanks he was fighting at 168, then at 160, now at 160. Conor Benn fights at 147. He's a welterweight, right? There's a natural rivalry between the families, and there's history there. You know, having the sons of two legends, fathers fighting against each other. But Chris Eubanks Jr., he fought at 168 at one point in time. Fought at 154 and 160. Now he's at 160, back at 160 at middleweight. And again, like I said, Conor Benn is a 47-pounder. So this fight is taking place at a catchweight of 157, right? 3 pounds below 160. And 10 pounds north for 147 for Conor Benn. And it's being reported that Chris Eubanks Sr. is not happy, okay, that this is the case, okay? So according to Daily Mail, don't know if it's true or not, but Chris Eubanks Sr., he says that, this is a quote that they're quoting, that he says, "My son's life cannot be put in danger. I've already lost one. It can't happen again." If you don't know, Chris Eubanks Sr. and Chris Eubanks Jr., he lost his brother, he lost his son, right? In a tragic accident, you know, in the ocean, right? And this is the quote, right? "I've already lost one. It can't happen again." Chris Eubanks Sr. leaves Nigel Benn stunned as he offers to pull out his son out of this catchweight clash with Conor Benn to avoid dangerous weight cut. Okay, again, like I said, it's supposed to be at 157. So both guys, you know, well, Conor Benn is not having a major weight cut, but he's putting it all on risk because he's going up against a much bigger guy. Okay, he's never fought for a world title, obviously never won a world title. And he's going to face a much bigger guy in Chris Eubanks Sr. Chris Eubanks cutting 3 more pounds from 160. This lets you know that Chris Eubanks if he can't cut 3 more pounds to get to 57, well, this lets you know that Chris Eubanks Jr. is struggling to make 160. Because if cutting 3 more pounds from 60 to 57 is a detriment to his health, you know, then that just tells you that he's struggling to make 160. And his time spent at 168, you know, it started to get to him. I think he started to naturally grow into being a 168-pounder. Now he was starting to cut weight, going down to 60. I think he wanted to, you know, he didn't like the matchups at 68. And the fact that they're saying that he needs to cut weight to 157 is detrimental to his health is an indication that he's struggling to make 160. He's barely making 160 because 3 pounds should not be a detriment to his health. Okay, And we saw him walking around eating a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, I don't know if that was a ploy, that was a mental game he was playing with Conor Benn, on himself or on the fans or whatever may have you. There's just photos of him walking around with a bucket of chicken and eating a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, again, like I said, he may not actually have been eating the chicken. He may have just been holding it for the photos, right? To say that, listen, I can comfortably do it. But, his father is very hands-on in his career. They have a very close relationship. He confides in his father, and as he should. And if these reports are true, he shouldn't have never been calling out Conor Benn to begin with. Again, like I said, I understand that there's a rivalry. The family rivalry. Excuse me. In the UK, it's a massive fight. In the UK, because of the namesake. But it's, to me, on paper, it's a mismatch. Got a middleweight, super middleweight facing a welterweight, and Conor Benn has never fought for a world title, never won a world title. So I don't even know why Chris Eubanks wasn't focused on the likes of undefeated 2-division world champion, who's the WBC reigning middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jamal Lyons Only Charlo. 32 wins, no loss and no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. That's who Chris Eubanks should have been focused on, becoming a world champion again, a world title fight with somebody his size, and he ain't got to worry about cutting the weight, right? Or you had undefeated 2-division world champion, who's the reigning WBO middleweight world champion. Now he vacated the titles in Demetrius Boo Boo Andre, who called him out publicly, right? Now, I don't know if the money was right or whatever may have you, but he called him out publicly, right? And he didn't make that fight. So, again, like I said, I understand the names. I understand that fighting Conor Benn is the namesake. But Conor Benn he's a huge name in the UK. He's not a huge name in the States. And not overall, right? And he's just now starting to make his mark and get from under the shadow of his father, Nigel Benn. Just recently, he started to, make his mark and get from under the shadow of Nigel Benn. That was just recently, right? So he's fighting bigger name fights, Vargas and then Chris Algieri, and he's starting to make a name for himself. But he hasn't fought for a world title. He's done nothing. He should be focusing on becoming a world champion in his own division, and the big fights for Conor Benn in his own division. He got huge fights right here in his own division that he can make that are huge fights for him. I didn't see the logic in making this fight happen to begin with, right? And once again, Conor Benn is signed with Eddie Hearn. It's not the first time Eddie Hearn has done this. He's done this with Kell Brook, right? Former IBF welterweight world champion, British superstar boxer, Special K, Kell Brook. Kell Brook jumped up from 47. Now, he actually won the world title. He beat Sean's 2-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Showtime Sean Porter, for his IBF title. So he actually fought and won the world title. But then he jumped up from 47. That was the biggest fight and biggest win in Kell Brook's career. He jumped up from 47 all the way up to 60 to challenge the unified champion at the time, undefeated unified champion at the time, and Gennady Triple G Golovkin. And got his orbital bone broken. Moved up from 147 to 160, got his orbital bone broken. Yes, these guys they may come across as big welterweights, but they're not big welterweights when you see them next to actual middleweights and junior middleweights. Just like I tell everybody when everybody says that Errol Spence is a big welterweight and he's really a 54-pounder or middleweight campaigning at 147. No, he's not. When you see Errol Spence next to actual 154-pounders and next to actual 60-pounders, the size difference is abundantly clear. When you see him next to Jamal and Jamal Charlo, It's abundantly clear that they're much bigger than he is. So what people do is, well, then they say, well, Jermell Charlo is naturally a 60-pounder, and Jamal is a naturally 68-pounder. So these are the reasons, and these are the excuses that people make up. No, they're not big guys. What they are is natural welterweights for today's time. That's what they are. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, 6 feet tall. Tommy Hearns with a 78, 81-inch arm reach. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard at 5'10" and a half, nearly 5'11" with a 74-inch arm reach. You understand? They're natural welterweights, the big guys. Today's time, what happens is the welterweight division is the money division. It's the glamour division. So all of these fighters from junior welterweight, lightweight, they jump up to welterweight, and so then the natural welterweights start to look like they're bigger than the natural welterweights. Yeah, Errol Spencer's physically growing out the division, and he's going up to 154, but Conor Benn against Chris Eubanks Jr., you see the clear size difference. Period. I never understood the logic in this. And Triple G, 5'10", you know, don't look like the biggest middleweight, right? But when he faced Kell Brook, and Kell Brook is 5'9", but when he faced Kell Brook, you can see a clear size difference. There's a clear-cut size difference between Kell Brook and Triple G. Period. When you saw the face-off between Conor Benn and Chris Eubanks Jr., you can see a clear size difference between the two. Clearly. So, let's see how this unfolds. And Nigel Benn, according to these reports, is shocked that Chris Eubanks Sr. is offering to pull his son out the fight. And according to reports, he never even wanted his son to agree to this fight to begin with. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.